Evening, everyone. It's 5:55 on this uh, Wednesday afternoon, the 3rd of May, and this is your closing comment, video number 1739. Okay, so today was Fed Day. Really, there was a whole lot of information out there to begin with, most of it on the expansion side, and as I said this morning, um, I was really surprised that the market was not lower on the ADP number, which was a plus 296,000. Estimate was 133, and last month was 145. So, this is one of those good news, bad news kind of things. And so we started up, and most of the morning we were higher, then we were a little bit lower. It was a typical FOMC money decision, rate decision kind of day. The rate decision came and went, and really not much was going on until after Powell started talking during the press conference. And somebody asked him about rate cuts, and he absolutely shut it down. There will be no rate cuts. That's when the market started to sell off, and it got very heavy very fast. And at the end of the day, we closed down 270, 0.8% in the Dow. Advanced declines were 9 to 5 to the downside. NASDAQ fared a little bit better on the market internals. They were barely 1 to 1, and it closed down 55.18 or 0.46. The S&P, which was up 30 this morning, ended up down 30 and closed down 28.83, 0.7%. So right there behind the Dow. The Russell finished up on the day, 0.41, $7.17. It was up about 25, 24 that I saw. And the transports, which were much higher than where they closed up 22.49. Excuse me. Volume expanded 5.7 billion, which is not all that unusual for a Fed day. After the close, we had a bunch of earnings, but more important than that, Pacw came out and said they are looking to sell the bank. And of course, immediately, all of those banks started lower. Pacw, which in early March went from 27 to 5. Yesterday was $6.55, down to 52. And today was trading at 642 at the close, which was down, up a dime. And then when this news hit, it immediately tanked from 642 to $2.58. The last I have is 287. That was down 368, 57%. Zion was also lower, as was WAL, which is Western Alliance Bank. And there we had the same kind of setup. In early March, it was 71. After the Silicon Valley, it touched 7.5. Yesterday closed 31 down 5. The day before yesterday, 31 down 5. Today, it was 29.57, down $1.36. Last I have now, $20.31, down 10.82 or 35%. I'm not going to go into the whole list. We'll look at them in the morning when things have calmed down. But I would expect that this is going to be a big negative for the market. And The market has more information tomorrow. We have productivity, unit labor cost, trade balance, and of course it's Thursday, so it's claims day. So we'll have a look at that and see how it comes in versus the ADP number. After the close, Qualcomm with a beat top and bottom line, but very negative guidance based on slowdowns in the smartphone business. It had closed at 112.72, and that was down 339. Um, it traded as low as 104.33, last is 104.85. That is down $11.31 or 9.7%. CVS had poor guidance. It closed down 264 or 3.6%. TripAdvisor also a miss and poor guidance. Stock had closed 17.05, down $1.21 or 6.6%. It then traded down to 15. So 17.05 to 15. The last is 15.95. That's down 231 or 12.7%. Eli Lilly on that Alzheimer's news from overnight, new all-time high, closed 431.19, up 26.99 or 6.8%. That's a nice move for a stock that size. And two other things I want to mention. I mentioned yesterday about IEP, that's Carl Icahn's company. It was the subject of a Hindenburg story, and yesterday it closed at 40, down 10 or 20%. Well, didn't get any bounce at all today. Started lower and closed 31.52, down 7.49, another 20%. Also, I've been in Meta on the short side here, and I got lucky today. My options that expire on Friday were 230s, and frankly, they were 27 cents. I think they cost 68 cents. And then the news hit about the fact that Facebook is not going to be able to monetize miners, that's MINOR, miners data. And the stock, which was trading 241 and three quarters, immediately turned down, traded down to 233 and change. So it was a gift for me. I think I got $1.76 for my puts, and they were lower. The stock was rallying a little, closed 237 and a half. That was only down $1 after being 232 and three quarters. So kind of mid-range, but much stronger. Those options closed at 67. The reason that I'm mentioning this is because Meta had a huge gap to the downside some time ago. I want to say that it was the beginning of February of last year, where it went literally from a close at, let me just see, a close at 323 and gapped down and closed that day at 237. That was a very big day. The stock was down 85, if you recall, down about 27%. The reason I'm mentioning it is because the top of the gap that day was 248, and today at 241 and change, we're really challenging that. And so if we get back into the gap, there's really not a lot between 248 and let's call it 248 and 285. So if they can hold this and turn it up again, it could easily have another run. I'm negative the market, but it's becoming a stock picker's market. Okay, The chart on the screen is the corn. We are long corn. We got long the day before yesterday, and yesterday we looked like we were making progress, and we reversed back to the downside. This chart is a daily. Um, and what we had today was a sell off, and that sell off went to a new life of contract low at 569 and a quarter. It turned, and this is kind of what I was expecting 2 days ago in here. It turned, and actually, I know this looks awfully close, and you might think that I am splitting hairs, but this is what is called a key reversal if it holds, and that is a new contract low followed by a higher high than the day before. And again, it's splitting hairs here. Yesterday's high was 590 and a half. Today's high was 590 and three quarters. However, we also closed here at 588, and the low was 569 and a quarter. That's a very big move in a $5 a bushel commodity. So if we follow through and can close above this, I think we have a shot at $6 a bushel. This is $50 a point. So from today's low to today's high was 21 points, and that's at $50 a point. That's $1,050. That's a 50% move versus the margin that it costs to trade it. So, absolutely, if we get a move up tomorrow, it confirms this bottom, and I think we may end up being off to the races there. The rest of the market, we had the oil down $3. A brutal couple of days in the oil. I mean, we've gone. This is a daily also. We went from yesterday's high at $76 to today's low at $68, $67.95. That's a huge move for anything. We are right back into support. As I said yesterday, I don't expect to see it break this area, but they're really making those oil traders uncomfortable. Gold was higher, silver was higher, nat gas was only slightly lower, down 4 cents. The soft cotton was down $1.60, coffee was down $1.25, sugar up a couple of pennies. And that's about it. So I will see you first thing in the morning with all of those 8:30 numbers. Have a good evening.